Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm broadcasting to you from Budapest, capital city of Hungary here in Central Europe. Today we are looking at IELTS General Writing, Task 1, Letter Writing, and as usual, materials come from our fantastic websites, generalieltshelp.com or IELTShelp.com for general IELTS, and for academic IELTS, check us out at aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com. On both of those websites, we have 6 full practice exams that are original exams for you, as well as over 100 hours of video lessons and a fully interactive course for your phone, tablet, and PC. Hi, Maninderjeet. I hope you're doing great. I think some students are still getting used to daylight savings here in Europe. The classes are a little bit earlier. For me, it's the same time, but that's because we've set our clocks back an hour. All right, so some important news, students, just before we get into our letter writing. Hi, Ada, Empress. This is the last week of live classes on the general IELTS channel. We will be doing more live IELTS on our Academic English Help channel, and we'll be putting more general IELTS videos on this channel that are pre-recorded. Okay. If anybody wants to get our general IELTS books, search for GE Helps General IELTS on Amazon. If somebody has a question, just send me an email, adrian@gieltshelp.com. That's my name, at gieltshelp.com. You can get in touch with me there. Today, again, we're doing letter writing, and then tomorrow we'll finish up the week with a task 2 essay question. All right, Jafar, I'm glad that I'm helping you improve your thinking for IELTS for your exam in July. It's fantastic. Hi, Pachu. Okay, students, let's get into today's questions. So here we go. Writing task 1. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task, not a minute more. Make sure to spend 40 on task 2. You notice some water damage in the apartment that you are renting. Write a letter to the landlord. Okay, so obviously a formal letter. All right, write a letter to the landlord. In your letter, explain what you have noticed. Request urgent investigation and repair. Explain the effect that this has on your life. Okay, so this is a common situation for people. Water damage happens quite often, regardless of where you live, and it has to be dealt with. It can get out of control. So this is our question. We have to write at least 150 words. That means minimum, students, minimum, not maximum. I still find a lot of students are confused by this. It means minimum, at least, okay? And yes, they do count your words, okay? They will count 3 lines, 4 lines of words, and then they'll multiply it by the number of lines that you have, divide, get the average, and then they will be able to figure out pretty close to how many words you have in your essay. So you need at least 150. High-level essays that are band 7, 8, 9 are usually closer to 200 words for the letter. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so as we get going here, here is an exercise that you should do at home with these IELTS Task 1 essays. Hi, Kyber. Good to see you in class. You should build a vocabulary bank, okay? So when you're writing, when you're reading, it's a great opportunity to build vocabulary, especially with these letters because they're specific. And the vocabulary that you learn with these Task 1 letters is also very useful in real life when you are living in an English-speaking country, okay? So here is an exercise to do before you sit the IELTS, or another way to say it is to do as you prepare for the IELTS. And it's a great way to build a lexical resource, or another way to just simply say it is vocabulary. Okay. So first things first, identify the topic. What's the topic in this question, students? So what are we talking about in this letter? What's the focus of this letter? You notice some water damage in the apartment that you are renting. Explain what you have noticed. Request urgent investigation repair. Explain the effect that this has on your life. So what is the topic? What are we talking about? Pachu, I think you want to ask me about paraphrasing maybe, or are you asking me about paragraphing? You don't have to write separate paragraphs, Pachu, for each of those bullet points. It's not true. You can, but it's not necessary. Yes, the topic here is water damage. That's right. So Kyber, Pachu, good. Water damage. Okay, so we're talking about water damage. So when you think about water damage, what words come to mind? So what is vocabulary that can be useful if you are discussing water damage? Okay, so give me what you know without using a dictionary yet. Okay, you can later. So Sheikh says water leakage. So just take the word leakage or leak. Okay, let's take the root word. Leakage. Drain, sure. Pipe, broken pipe, sure, yeah. Okay, tap, yep. Let's just keep giving me words, students. Keep giving me words that come to mind which are useful for this topic of water damage. So pipe, broken pipe, tap, sewage, shake sewage. Okay, slippery, floor, yeah, sure. So what else? Overflow. Plumber. Thank you for that one, Shake. Good. Plumber. Very nice. Slippery. Okay, good. What else? Any other words that come to mind? Maybe the word stain. Okay. When you have water damage, you often see stains on the wall from the water damage, right? Okay. Blockage. Yeah, Ada, Empress, very good. Blockage. Yeah, when the pipe is blocked, there's no water movement. It's causing pressure. So blockage, maybe some pressure as well in the system. Clogged. Yeah, clog is good. Noise. Okay. Drip. Surprised nobody said that one as far as I saw. So drip or dripping. That's when the water's going whoop, 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 like that. So, yep. All right, so here now we have a pretty good vocabulary bank to help us in our writing. And this is a good strategy even during the IELTS. So the reason why collecting a vocabulary bank can be very effective during the exam is because it can help you to think about the situation. Okay? So keep this tip in mind, or this strategy in mind. Okay, and it's specifically with the topic. So building a vocabulary bank connected to the topic of task 1 is strongly advised when preparing for the IELTS exam, and it is also very, very useful during the exam because it helps you not only to use a good range of vocabulary, but also come up with different ideas. So it also, and it not only helps let me try that again. And it also helps during the exam, both for good vocabulary and idea generation. Okay, so this is a really good strategy. So identify the topic. You should do that anyway. Here we're talking about water damage. And then think about a leak, leakage, drain, pipe, broken, tap, sewage, slippery, plumber, all of these words, and you can now use those to put your essay together. Okay? Yeah, Pachu, it can help in especially the speaking part 2 and in writing task 1 and 2. Okay? Certainly it helps in all sections of the IELTS when you're preparing for the exam. During the exam, it helps you in task 1, task 2 of writing and part 2 of speaking. So yes, Pachu, you're right. It does work well for other sections also, this exercise. Definitely. Okay. So let's go back to the 3 questions. Explain what you have noticed. Request urgent investigation and repair. Explain the effect that this has on your life. Now, if we look at our vocabulary bank, we can kind of organize these words in these different bullet points. Okay, so if I take these bullet points, let me just copy them over. Give me a moment. Okay, and then I'll put them under the words that we came up with. Okay, so here's the words that we came up with. Here are the 3 parts of the question. Okay, so which words go where? So explain what you have noticed. Which word can go here? Leak, drain, pipe, broken, tap, sewage, slippery, plumber, stain, blockage. Definitely leak can go here. What other words can go with explain what you have noticed? Well, water can be a popular topic, Pachu. I wouldn't put slippery in that one, Ada. I would probably put slippery and explain the effect that this has on your life. Okay, I think it would make more sense here. Okay, pipe burst, yeah. Sure, that's possible. Broken can go in that one as well. Okay, clogged. All right, good. Those are some good drip noise. Yeah, drip drop, Jafar, Asa, Shaiki, Shaik. Yeah, those are great. Okay, how about this next one? Request urgent investigation and repair. Any of our vocabulary good for this point here? Okay. So any of the vocabulary that we came up with? Yeah, Nirmaljit says plumber would be a very good one there. All right. Any other ones other than plumber? Mechanic. It's called a plumber, so plumber's more accurate than mechanic, Pachu. If you want to generalize it, then you can say repairman. Okay. That's another way to say it. Harmeet, that's fantastic. Congratulations. I'm really, really happy that you got your needed band score. A big you're welcome back to you. So thank you for sharing. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Explain the effect it has on your life. Any of our words good for this one? So explain the effect that this has on your life. Which one of our words from this vocabulary bank is useful for the effect that it has on our life? Maninderjeet, thank you. Maninderjeet, you don't have to write all capital letters, okay? It means you're yelling at me. Don't yell at me, Maninderjeet. Just normal size letters, it's fine. Slippery. Okay, yes, slippery works, absolutely. Shake, noise, yeah. So water damage can be noisy if you hear the pipes rattling or pressure in the pipes, yeah, or some hissing sound, absolutely. So noise. Okay, can we add, so we have lots of words for what we've noticed, but can we add more words to explain the effect that it has in your life? Slippery, noise, disturbing, pachu, sure. So now what I'm doing as a second step is I'm expanding the vocabulary. Again, this is very, very good practice, students, when you're preparing for IELTS, so that during the exam you can do this much, much faster, okay? So slippery, noisy, disturbing. What else? How else does water damage affect your life? Okay. Yes, the noise is disturbing. What else, though? What else? Maybe there's a smell, right? Think of your 5 senses. So again, always think of sight, smell, hearing, taste, touch, right? So think about all 5. So it's slippery, it's noisy, it's disturbing, it's smelly or stinky, bad odor, sure. What else happens with water? There you go. Shake, very good. So fungus or mold. Yeah. Damage to electronics, right? Shake, even algae buildup, sure. Great. Yeah. Rekha, be a little bit more direct. So it looks terrible. Okay, not just not looking so good, but it looks really terrible. It looks disgusting. Okay. Danger. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So students, we have lots of information now. The question seemed very simple when we first looked at it, right? You notice some water damage in your apartment, write a letter to the landlord, explain what you have noticed, request urgent investigation and repair, explain the effects that this has on your life. At first it looks really simple, but when we go and expand the topic with lots more vocabulary and then take that vocabulary and organize it into the 3 bullet points, we end up with quite a clear picture. Let me ask you, students, at this point, do you have a good idea of how you can write this task 1? Do you have an idea of the information that you can write through these steps that we just did? Does that help you to organize and elaborate your ideas? That's the question I want to ask you. So does this strategy help you to organize and elaborate your ideas for responding to this letter? Okay, I want to make sure that it's clear. Pachu, thank you for the feedback. So you're saying yes, for you it works. Manindraji, yeah. Okay, so again, notice the 2 steps that I did. So first of all, I identified the topic, which was water damage. I thought of as many words as I could connected to this idea of water damage in the apartment or in the house. And then I organized in the next step those words into the 3 bullet points. And then wherever I didn't have too many points, I added some more. So in this one here, I added some more. So it's slippery, it's noisy, it's disturbing, it's smelly, fungus. And now I need to put that together into an effective essay. Okay? All right. So let's do it. Let's start the response. So usually your task one will start with dear sir or madam. If not, if it just says dear, then you can say dear landlord. Okay? So let's just start with dear sir or madam. Okay? The first part, we want to introduce ourselves and we want to explain the purpose of the letter. Okay? So paragraph 1, let's introduce ourselves. It's a short paragraph. Who are we? And what is our purpose? What do we want to achieve? You can do that in 2 sentences. Okay, so write it down, students. I'm going to do the same. And then we'll compare, and I'll look at your introduction as well. So just be brave, write your introduction, and I'll read it and give you some feedback, okay? I'm going to do the same, and I'll be quiet a little bit so you can hear yourself think. All right. Let's see what you have written. So I'm doing a bit of writing here on my own while you're doing a bit of writing on your own. I'd like to see how you would start this letter. So Kyra says, Dear Sir or Madam, I'm writing to inform you regarding the leaky pipe of my kitchen in apartment 41. So Kyra, you're off to a good start. Just watch those small mistakes. I'm writing to inform you about the leaky pipe in my kitchen at apartment 41. Nirmaljit says, I'm Nirmaljit. Make sure you capitalize your name, Nirmaljit. Big N. I'm Nirmaljit, comma, your tenant from 25 Greenwood Avenue, house number 404. That's a great first sentence. Okay, good. Pachu says, I am Pachu, a resident of ward number 14 of Narayanghat, and I'm writing with regard to complain the water damage. Okay, it's a little bit wordy, Pachu. You need to be more direct. So I'm Pachu, resident of ward number 14 at Narayanghat, comma, and I'm writing to complain about the water damage in the living room. Okay, so be a little bit more specific, Pachu, and don't be too wordy. So you don't need the with regard to complain. You just need the I'm writing to complain. Okay, Rekha. My name is Rekha Rawat, and I'm living in apartment number 456 Green Avenue, Ropar. I'm writing this letter to bring to your attention my concern regarding water leakage. You don't need which the society faced a lot, Rekha. First of all, it's awkward. It's unnecessary. A lot is 2 words, so that's a mistake as well. So take out the end of that, Rekha, and it's much, much better. Okay? I see a lot of great responses coming up now, so that's fantastic. Munzir says, my name is Munzir Khan, one of the older tenants. One of the many, Munzir. It's always one of plural, one of many. So my name is Munzir Khan, one of the older tenants in your flat. And I am writing to inform you that the main water pipe, which goes to my kitchen sink, burst on May 1st, 2018. Okay, Munzir, that's good. Not got burst, but just burst. Burst is a verb, Munzir. Burst is the verb, so you don't need 2 verbs. That's awkward. Okay, just 1 verb. Obviously, you have some kind of a temporary fix, Munzir, otherwise your kitchen would be flooded. Ada, Empress says, Dear sir, I am Ada, your tenant in room 14, second floor in your apartment building at 44 Gerard Estate. Apartment building, okay? Ada, apartment is 1 unit. Apartment building is the whole building with many units. So you need the word building, otherwise it's awkward, okay? I'm writing to bring to your notice. We don't use notice that way, Ada. So I'm writing to bring to your attention the leaky pipe in my bathroom. Good. Okay, also very good. All right. Asta Sharma, I am Asta, a tenant at 12 Crown Park Apartments. At your 12 Crown Apartment, yours kind of weird there, Asta. So I'm Asta, a tenant at 12 Crown Apartments, comma, and I would like to bring to your attention an urgent issue. Today morning, I noticed water dripping from the bathroom ceiling. Good. Okay, Asta, good. Good description there. Khyber, one more. My last name, okay. Dear Sir, Madam, my last name is Momand and my first name is Khyber, and I'm writing to inform you about the leaking pipe in my kitchen at apartment 41, Budapest. Khyber. Bring it to my current resident city. Good. Okay, so that's some good writing there, students. Just watch those corrections, okay? So all of those small corrections do count in the end for a better band score, all right? This is what I wrote here. So, dear sir or madam, I am your tenant at 478 Greenwood Avenue, apartment number 4, and I have an urgent matter to bring to your attention which needs action. Just yesterday morning, it's my time expression, so when I start the sentence with a time expression, put a comma after it, I noticed a large water stain in the closet on the ceiling. Okay, maybe I want to do a little bit more description here. In the bedroom closet on the ceiling. Okay, good, great. So now we can go into the body paragraph and write a little bit more about the situation. So this is where you want to address the bullet points. And I think, was it Khyber that asked me, do I need to write a separate paragraph for each of the points? So sometimes some teachers say that you should write a separate paragraph for each of these bullet points. No, that's not necessary. In fact, in some cases, that's actually quite strange because these are connected. So sometimes you can, but sometimes there's a strong connection between the bullet points. So it's strange to write separate paragraphs for them. Okay? All right, students. So we've just introduced ourselves and the situation. Now we need to go into detail. Okay? So you want to go step by step, and usually you can go point by point. So first, here, we want to explain a little bit more about what we noticed. Okay? So start the second start the second paragraph, the body paragraph, by giving some more information of what actually happened. So what did you actually notice? Okay, what are you seeing? Go into more detail. The way to get a higher IELTS band score is to have details, okay? Rather than talking about many different ideas, focus on just a few ideas and go into great detail. That's how you get those band 7, 7.5 and more, okay? So go ahead, students. Explain what you've noticed. I'm going to do the same. We have different ideas. Some of you noticed a leakage in the bathroom, some of you in the kitchen. Me personally, I'm discussing a problem in the bedroom closet. So we each have our own idea. That's absolutely okay. As the English idiom goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So there are many ways to respond to this. So just write the first sentence now, explaining in more detail what you noticed. So what kind of water damage did you notice? Okay, I'm going to do the same, and I'll stay quiet for a little bit so that you can think. All right. So Nirmaljeet says, yesterday morning when I went to the washroom to bathe, I noticed a big stain on the front wall. Okay, very good, Nirmaljeet. Just a couple of slight corrections. Yesterday morning, comma, when I went to the washroom to bathe. For bathing, yeah, it's not terrible to bathe. Comma, you need another comma there, Nirmaljeet, because that's your dependent clause. Okay, I noticed, it's past tense, not I noticed, but I noticed, because it's still yesterday. And you can even use past perfect, Nirmaljeet. You can say, I had noticed a big stain on the front wall. Okay? So, but it's a good start. Just watch your tense mistake, Nirmaljeet, and watch your comma mistakes, okay? Munzir says, I noticed a large seepage of water overflow from the kitchen sink on the floor. Okay, that's a little bit tricky. I'm having trouble visualizing that, Munzir. So, I noticed a puddle. Okay, that's one word that we didn't explore in our vocabulary build, Munzir, but the better word that you're looking for is puddle. Puddle, Puddle, puddle. So I noticed a large puddle of water on the kitchen floor. Okay, Munzir, one more time. I noticed a large puddle of water on the kitchen floor. As a result, some paint has peeled off of the wall. Okay, so the paint has peeled off the wall, Munzir. The paint has peeled off. Okay. Kyber says, in fact, when I came home from my workplace last night, I noticed there was a clogged pipe which resulted in the flooding of our kitchen. So, Kyber, the word that you're looking for is flood. The kitchen is flooded. Okay, flooded. Asta, when I entered the bathroom today, I felt water drops on my head. Immediately I looked up, right, Asta? So if you feel drops on your head, you look up. So immediately I looked up at the ceiling and I realized that there was water coming, or let me just try to rethink that. So immediately I looked up at the ceiling and there was water stain, which led me to believe that the pipes had burst. Okay, so something like that, Asta. Zaina says, first, comma, I noticed that there were a lot of, okay, everybody who's watching for the second time, the words a lot, it's two words in English. So it's a space lot, a lot. It's not one word, okay? Two words, a lot. So first I noticed that there was a lot of water on the ground by the kitchen, and then I realized that the pipe broke, which was running under the sink. So the end of your description there, Zaina, you want to make that clearer, okay? So this is what I wrote, students, while you were thinking of your answers. By the way, that's great. Firstly, I want to say that it's fantastic that all of you are writing. Don't worry about your mistakes. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you correct your writing, okay? So I'm here to help you fix those grammar mistakes and the word use mistakes. So keep writing, okay? You're doing a great job. This morning, when I was getting ready for work, I opened up my closet to grab out my shirt and pants and noticed that they were wet to the touch. Intuitively, I looked up and noticed water droplets falling from the ceiling. Immediately, I removed all of my clothes and put a pan under the leak before rushing off to my job. Okay, so again, I'm painting a very clear picture to my reader, the landlord, of what's happening. You can clearly see me open up my closet, grab a shirt. Oh, that's wet. That's kind of weird. What's going on? Ooh, okay, it's a problem. I got to get to work. Grab out my clothes, throw them on my bed, grab a pan, stick it under the dripping ceiling, and off I go to work. Okay, maybe the neighbor upstairs just forgot to clean up some spilt water or something, maybe not, but I have to take action, right? Okay, so that's what I have so far. I'm giving more details to the situation. Okay. So now, of course, I'm paying attention to these bullets. So request urgent investigation and repair. So I need to think about this point, and you can include it in the same paragraph. You can write a new short paragraph if you want. It's not completely necessary as long as you're writing clearly, okay? Notice the use of language and grammar as well. So past tense, some nice expressions, right? Grab out my shirt and pants. So try to really show your knowledge of English as you're putting these sentences together. Okay, students, so explain to your landlord that you need this situation to be investigated ASAP, as soon as possible. Okay. Kyber, you're definitely improving, absolutely. Just the range of vocabulary that you're using and the speed that you're using it at is clearly improved over the last 2 months. So you've definitely made like a, let's say, a 10 to 15% improvement from before. So keep going. Okay. All right. So, keep writing, students. Keep writing. Don't be shy. I'm looking forward to seeing how you continue this letter and how you explain to your landlord that you need them to investigate and deal with this situation as soon as possible. This is what I wrote, and I separated this out into a separate paragraph just so you can see it this way when it's done like that. So, therefore, I urge you to investigate this matter as soon as possible before this situation escalates into a much bigger problem. I can infer that there must be a broken pipe in the wall which is slowly leaking water. Please call a plumber to come as soon as possible to my flat to deal with this matter. Now, at home, I would definitely pay attention to the fact that I have as soon as possible here and as soon as possible here. So I want to replace one of those with a synonym. Okay. All right. So please call a plumber to come at the earliest possible time to my flat to deal with this matter. You definitely want to avoid word repetition as much as possible, students. Okay. So avoid word repetition. When you see me using new words, then make sure, and new phrases, make sure to write them down. So notice this one. This is very useful in a lot of different situations. Okay, so before this problem escalates into a much bigger problem. Notice the word escalates. Escalate means to grow into a bigger problem. Okay, so capture these phrases. I'm trying to, of course, teach you these while I'm writing as well. Notice the word infer. Anybody know what that means, the word infer? All right, Rekha, you have your continuation there. It's good. It is my hearty request you to inquire about this problem. It is my sincere request, Rekha. So, or it is my urgent request is even better for this context. So, Rekha, it is my urgent request that you investigate this problem as it causes me a lot of stress. I'm not able to get to sleep. Rekha, the end of your sentence there, it's quite confusing for me. So you have to reword that. Try that again, okay? So because this causes me a lot of problems as I always stay up late to mop up the bathroom floor. So Rekha, it's mop up the bathroom. You don't sweep up the water, you mop up the water, M-O-P, okay? To mop up the bathroom floor with my household equipment. Okay, so again, Rekha, the end of it's a little bit awkward, but you're mopping up the bathroom floor. Nirmaljit says, as this situation needs urgent attention, I request you to please contact the plumber as soon as possible to fix the drainage. Nirmaljit, that's where you want to use drainage, okay? Which is causing a lot of water waste. Manzir says, my investigation revealed that the main water pipe running through the kitchen had tiny repair patches from before. So I turned off the main water to ensure the situation does not become more dire. Good, Munzir. Nice use of the words more dire in that situation. And yes, turning the water off centrally is a good idea. So good for you to explain that. All right. Farhan says, therefore, it is my humble request you please arrange a visit with a plumber to trace the root of the problem, to find the root of the problem, Farhan, to find the root of the problem and adopt immediate remedial measures. That's a bit awkward, Farhan. And take immediate measures to repair the problem. Something like that, Farhan. Careful with that, okay? All right. Let's keep going. Kyber says, unfortunately, I am not able to cook dinner in my kitchen, so I decided to eat out. Therefore, I highly recommend you to investigate this matter as soon as possible so that I can get back to life as usual. Kyber, something like that for the finish, okay? I'm noticing that a lot of students, you have a good start to your sentence, but then as you go and write your later parts, it gets a little bit awkward. So just really pay attention to maintain the same quality of grammar and writing throughout your phrases, okay? Here's my continuation, as I said. So now I want to make sure that I'm answering all parts of the question, and I still have to explain how this affects my life. And I notice some of you are already including that. Again, remember, go into details. Okay? So explain the effect that this has on your life. Okay? So let's write a little bit more about that. So explain the effect that this has on your life. I'm going to do that. You do the same, and then we'll compare. Farhan, Maninderjeet, yes. Infer means to conclude after an educated diagnosis. So after you take an educated analysis of a situation, you're able to make an opinion or formulate a conclusion, and that's to infer. Okay, so good. All right, so again, students, explain the effect that this has on your life. I'm going to be a little bit quiet while I write, give you a chance to think and write on your own. Okay, so again, make sure you're answering all parts of task one. It's very important for task completion. Okay, so make sure you're answering all parts. And then we conclude. All right, still waiting on the students to catch up. That's fine. Okay, again, you have 20 minutes for this, so lots of time if you're practicing at home. Okay. If you think about how long all of this actually took me to write while explaining, you'll notice that it wasn't a full 20 minutes. Okay, and I'll do a word count as well. So I have 250 words, which are 100 words over the minimum, and that's great, especially if you're trying to get a band 9. All right. So Kyber, you had the unfortunately I'm not able to cook, which is good. Pachu says, consequently, I'm not sleeping well due to the noise made by the dripping water. So Pachu, one more time. Consequently, I'm not sleeping well due to the noise of the dripping water. Okay. Rekha, this problem is disturbing my schedule as I spend 20 to 30 minutes to mop up the bathroom floor in the morning. Okay, good. Rekha, don't overcomplicate your ideas. So this problem negatively affects my schedule, not time schedule, Rekha, because schedule includes the concept of time. Okay, so you don't need to say time schedule, just schedule is enough. Okay, so don't use too many words, Rekha. Remember, wordiness is not good. All right, Manzir says, at the moment, my kitchen is flooded. As a precaution, I switched off the circuit breaker, which goes to the kitchen. We're simply unable to cook food at home, and we are forced to eat out. Okay, Manzir, we are forced to eat out. All right. Manzir's good use of vocabulary. I switched off the circuit breaker. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, students. This is what I have for the finish. So at the moment, my clothes are scattered all over my bedroom as the closet is not usable in this situation. Furthermore, I am sensitive to mold and mildew, and I fear that if this matter is not dealt with, fungus can invade my sleeping space. I look forward to hearing from you shortly to arrange a time when the plumber can come to deal with the situation. Please call me on my phone, text, or email. Sincerely, Adrian. Okay, let's look at this one more time from the top. So the question is, you notice some water damage in the apartment that you are renting. Write a letter to the landlord. Explain what you have noticed. Request urgent investigation and repair. Explain the effect that this has on your life. We built up some vocabulary. Then we separated the vocabulary for each of those bullet points. We visualized it. And then we put together the letter. The letter that I ended up with reads as follows. Dear Sir or Madam, I am your tenant at 478 Greenwood Avenue, apartment number 4, and I have an urgent matter to bring to your attention which needs action. Just yesterday morning, I noticed a large water stain in the bedroom closet on the ceiling. This morning, when I was getting ready for work, I opened up my closet to grab out my shirt and pants and noticed that they were wet to the touch. Intuitively, I looked up and noticed water droplets falling from the ceiling. Immediately, I removed all of my clothes and put a pan under the leak before rushing off to my job. Once I returned home, I emptied out the pan and noticed that the dripping had not stopped. Therefore, I urge you to investigate this matter as soon as possible before this situation escalates into a much bigger problem. I can infer that there must be a broken pipe in the wall which is slowly leaking water. Please call a plumber to come at the earliest possible time to my flat to deal with this matter. At the moment, My clothes are scattered all over my bedroom as the closet is not usable in this situation. Furthermore, I'm sensitive to mold and mildew, and I fear that if this matter is not dealt with, fungus can invade my sleeping space. I look forward to hearing from you shortly to arrange a time when the plumber can come to make repairs, just to avoid redundancy. Please call me on my phone, text, or email. Sincerely, Adrian. All right? So that's how the rest of the letter reads. Right like that, you'll get a great score. Again, practice that strategy at home with the vocabulary, students. Okay? Any questions about task 1? Anybody not sure about what I just did here and why I did it or how I did it? Any questions with task 1? Anything that wasn't clear? If you go over by 50, 60 words, that's great. Okay, if anybody's wondering, is it okay to write 210 words, 220 words for task 1? Yes, if you can, if you have good writing fluency, then fine. Yeah, absolutely. All right, students, then that is it for this class. Practice at home. Okay, practice letter writing. Make sure to get feedback. You can get feedback on our websites. Join our premium courses. General IELTS looks like this at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button. Join our premium course. You have lots of goodies. It's well worth it. And for academic IELTS, go to aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com. Click that big red button. Join us there. In 30 minutes, I will be teaching academic task 1 flowchart on our Academic English Help channel. Hopefully, I will see many of you there, especially if you're taking the academic IELTS. That's what you need, not so much the letter writing. Thank you so much. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.